101 review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is a Navy veteran with 10 years of service, a former federal police officer, and the founder of Battlefield Fed. No other than Mr. Robert Willer.
Thank you for having me, Daniel. I appreciate being here.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Robert, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Yes, sir. As you stated, I'm a 10-year Navy vet and former federal police officer. And after all that time in service, I was gifted with PTSD, anxiety, major depressive disorder, and social anxiety, and wanted to find a way to combat and overcome that. So that is why I created Battlefitted, the veteran mindset brand that dwells into everything personal development for my three pillar approach of fitness, mindset, and discipline.
Mr. Robert Willer, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. So let's talk about turning pain into progress, the battlefield mindset. Can you tell us about this?
Definitely. So, what I like to do is I like to work primarily with veterans and first responders, but also anybody that may have some sort of mental health issue or trauma, or even if they're trying to get out of a bad relationship or they want a promotion in a job. I'm the guy that you come to that will look overall at your fitness first, because I believe a healthy body helps create a healthy mind. And then we look at the mindset where I give you tips, tricks, and tools like practicing gratitude, journaling, and having more of a limitless belief system instead of limiting beliefs. I want you to think positively, not negatively. And then I give you the discipline, because at the end of the day, I want you to be able to do all this stuff by yourself. I don't want you to work with Coach Rob forever. So, that in a nutshell is what turning pain into progress is, primarily from my own experiences as a veteran with the trauma and the things that I suffered and the mental health issues that I had to overcome myself first.
Mr. Robert, again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. How has pain shaped your own personal or professional journey?
Well, if it wasn't for the pain that I've been through and the trauma, I would not be Coach Rob. I am Coach Rob because of that pain and because of that trauma, and realize that my purpose solely in life was to help other people overcome adversity. I really, literally want to see everybody win. And I just want to build a message of hope and healing and help people work from the inside out to become the best version of themselves.
The message of hope. What is the first step someone should take when they are trying to turn pain into progress?
I think the very first step is to be acceptable of that, have acceptance. You have to realize that there's still a stigma when it comes to mental health and mental health issues. And the thing is, it doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. We all deal with trauma, we all deal with pain points in our life, but we have to have acceptance of that to be able to overcome those issues so we can be better and have a better life.
Yes, interesting indeed, Mr. Robert. And how do you help clients refrain setbacks as opportunities for growth?
That's a great question. So first of all, it's just an open conversation, and discovering what it is that they want to overcome or deal with. Then I'm going to look at the overall fitness, their nutrition, their health as a whole, and see what I can fix and work with there. Fitness builds the foundation to overcome our problems and adversity. It helps us build discipline. It helps us build resilience. And then I'm going to give them, like I said, maybe a journal where they can practice gratitude. They can write things down that they're thankful for. They can track their fitness, nutrition, their daily habits. And that's what it's about. It's about just forming better daily habits to be 1% better each and every day. So as the end of the program is over, you've become a whole person of healing and you can go on to continue fighting those battles. I think mental health issues don't always like go away, and there's not 100% healing from that. But if we can deal with them better and find those tips and tricks to get over those problems, we can have a much purposeful, healthier, and happier life.
In your coaching experience, Mr. Robert, what kind of pain do people struggle with most?
I think it varies really from person to person. There is no one size fits all. I mean, we have people that have eating disorders. We have people like me that have PTSD or major depressive disorder, anxiety. Even people that are just bad at communicating and they need help to communicate to maybe that person that's hurting them, whether it's a family member or a loved one. So the totality of circumstances is we all suffer or deal with something, even childhood trauma. It's just finding what that is and how it's holding us back.
Yes, totally agree with you, Mr. Robert. Can anyone develop a battlefied mindset, or is just something you're born with?
I don't think anybody's really born with a lot of it attested to my military training and what I learned as a police officer to create the battle fitted mindset. It's just it starts with discipline and healthy habits. Discipline builds consistency, and consistency builds the mindset and what we want. You have to have healthy habits. You have to be 1% better every day. So anybody can develop a battle fitted mindset. Anybody can turn their pain into progress, but they have to be able to shift their mindset. They have to have a more limitless belief system.
Yes, people, discipline is one of the key to success. And of
Definitely.
course, it goes with consistency. Are there any daily habits or routines you recommend to stay mentally battle ready?
That's a great question, and definitely find what works for you and stick with it till it doesn't work. But what I recommend everybody does, practice gratitude. When you go to bed at night, think of at least three things. And it could be the same things, it could be different things every night. Speak that out into the universe, meditate on it, pray on it, however you want to do with that. So think of three things that you're thankful for. That will start to form a belief system that life isn't as bad as you think. And there's a lot of people out there going through a lot worse than what you are in your current state. And then next, when you wake up, no matter how you feel, say, I'm going to have a good day. And if you have to say that over and over and over again a million times, that's fine. I spoke to a neuroscientist and I asked him the question, if we speak to ourselves positive or negatively out into existence, does our subconscious actually believe that? And from an actual neuroscientist, he said, yes, definitely. So if you're negative all the time, your life's just going to be bad. And if you're positive all the time, your life's going to be better. The bad things aren't going to go away, but you're going to be able to deal with them much easier.
Yes, people, stop complaining. Count your blessing
Yes, we do.
first. You need to count your blessing first. How do you balance emotional vulnerability and mental toughness?
I think we have to learn to be more vulnerable, especially as men. Men, veteran first responders, we have a hard time not having that closed off, no emotions kind of thought process. I really don't believe in balance in life. It's just you have to decide what you're going to have emotional regulation and emotional control over. So the things that you want to give energy are the things that matter, right? You don't if you lose your wallet in a grocery store or something, you don't want to freak out and flip out and cause what I call an adult temper tantrum over that. That doesn't deserve your emotion. That doesn't deserve for you to be angry. It's just an inconvenience. So we have to realize what's an inconvenience versus what is actually needs our attention and give our emotional attention to those things that are more important.
Mr. Robert, what are the some common myths people believe about pain and progress?
Um, that I think like really as far as myths concerned, I'm not sure. I mean, people want everything instantly, right? We live in a world of instant gratification. Everything on
Yes.
our cell phone, Amazon, shopping, and you have to realize that healing, progress, anything worth having and doing, it takes time. You can't make it happen instantly. And I think what happens is people get so frustrated that they're not healed in a week or a month. Like, no, this takes years. It took me literally 7, 8 years to not be angry and upset and have a negative mindset anymore. So you have to be able to practice that and practice that every day.
Can you share a personal story from your own life where pain led to transformation?
Yes, definitely. So when I first joined the military, I went to a ship and I was young. I was about 20 years old. I was the kind of kid that I thought I was going to live in my parents' house forever. Didn't really have goals, didn't have ambitions, didn't really have much of a thought process of a purpose. And I was getting bullied and beat up on the actual ship that I was stationed at. And I remember I went down to the pier and they had payphones back then on the pier. And I remember calling my dad. I was in Florida, my family was in California, and I'm crying. And I'm like, Dad, I want to come home. I can't do this. And the greatest, most single thing he could have done for me was that tough love. He said, Son, I love you, but you can't come home. And he hung up the phone on me. From that point on, something shifted in my life, in my mind, where I was like, I'm on my own. No one's coming to save me. I have to deal with this myself. And that's where I kind of became an adult and everything started to change from there.
Well, Mr. Robert, congratulations for being you. What's the biggest mistake people make when trying to push through the adversity?
The biggest mistake, I think, honestly, is not asking for help. Everybody needs help at some time. Even me as a coach, I have mentors, I have coaches, I have people I need to lean to. You need to know that you don't have to go it alone. You have to find the tribe of like minded individuals that you belong with and lean to them. Even in your darkest hour, there's probably going to be at least one person that will have your back no matter what. So I think that's the biggest mistake is people don't ask for help when they need it.
Yes, people, if you need help, ask for a help. And for sure, it will help you a lot. How do you keep yourself motivated when you are going through your own battles?
Actually, I don't. I don't believe in motivation at all. I believe in discipline and consistency over everything. I'll take, for instance, for most of my life, I go to the gym every day. There's a lot of times I don't want to go to the gym. There's a lot of times I don't want to work out, but I do it because I know it's necessary and needed it. And that's because I built those discipline and consistency habits over a long period of time. Nobody's always going to be motivated to do things. We all have struggles, we all have bad days, we all have things in our life that takes our energy. So you can't rely on motivation at all. You have to build the discipline and the consistency.
Totally agree with you, Mr. Robert. Discipline is hard to do, but once you employ as a habit, well, it's easy as one, two, three. How important is community or mentorship in building this kind of mindset?
It's huge. Like I said before, it's that what I call tribe mentality, or if you're in the military, a battle buddy. It's that community. Even for instance, the gym I go to, I've stayed at the gym for 2 years now because I built a community. People know me. When they see me, hey, how's it going? If I have a bad day, I can say, look, I'm not doing well, and we can go aside and talk about it. Once again, you have to have people in your corner. And if people don't want to help you, if people don't want to listen to you, and if you can't take feedback from them, then you don't need them in your lives and you don't need those kind of friends. You need the people that are going to support you no matter what.
What impact has your book or readers' clients so far? I mean, you, being a coach.
The biggest impact is honestly for me, this is like my own kind of therapy. Every time I do a podcast and host a guest, every time I help somebody, every time I get to give a trick to somebody or a tip or someone says, hey, you really helped me, that helps me feel better. And I just have a service mindset and I like giving to people. And I love seeing people take something from a very dark perspective because I've been there. I've been in that darkness. And to be able for them to get out of it and live a purposeful life, that's an amazing, beautiful thing.
Totally agree. If you could give just one piece of advice to someone who feels stuck in pain, and what would it be?
I would just honestly, and as cheesy as it sounds, never give up. No matter how many times you get knocked down on the floor, no matter how times things seem rough, bleak, bad, don't give up because we have one life, one shot, one chance. You don't get a do over. So you might as well just keep going no matter what. And I don't think it matters me being 48 now and like essentially just, being a coach. You're never too young, you're never too old. If you have a purpose, stick with it. If people say you can't do that, just tell them, watch me and keep going. Don't give up.
Don't give up, people, and don't care what people say about you
Definitely.
because, well, people like you to fail,
Hmm.
not to succeed. They always envy to your success. So, Mr. Rob, what is your recommended book that you want to share to us that influenced your journey?
The recommended book that influenced me and my journey is David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. Um, for those of you who don't know, David Goggins was a Navy, or he was a Navy SEAL. He's a very prevalent figure on social media, a motivational speaker, but he gives you a no fluff attitude. And he talks in his book about how he was severely overweight, how people told him he couldn't be a SEAL, can't, negative, 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 and how he became a Navy SEAL and now forged himself into the person he is today.
Interesting book, Mr. Rob. And thank you so much for recommending that book for our listeners.
Definitely.
And as a podcast host, what will be your short term and long term goals?
Um, I
As
think
well as a coach, too.
I think all my goals are long term. I really don't have anything short term for my podcast, the Battle Harder podcast. I'm essentially somewhat doing similar like you. I'm trying to be a storyteller, and for me, I have doctors, neuroscientists, mental health practitioners, coaches, and people that struggle with life, and all telling their story. So if someone comes to my podcast, maybe there's something that helps them. Maybe there's something that they can resonate that will heal them. I don't expect the world to work with Coach Rob, but I do expect the world to try to heal and try to be the best version of themselves. Along with that, being a keynote speaker, I would love to be on stages in front of millions of people telling my story and motivating and inspiring people to become the best version of themselves. And I just have this big goal of wanting to be like the most well-known personal development coach in the world for everything that I'm creating and trying to do. I really do just want to help as many people as possible and impact as many lives as possible.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Robert Willer. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and of course my book 101 review in fifth season, comedy 101 in second season, and food 101 in its fifth season as well. Geography 101 and Love Letters in its third season, and my baby podcast, Mental Health 101, Movie 101. Movie 101 review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 it's in first season. Please do listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Robert, are you planning to expand the battlefield concept into a book, courses, or other program?
Definitely, I'm actually currently working on a 8 week journal. This 8 week journal will be available to my coaching clients and as a standalone product. If you go to my website and you go to the shop portion in the personal development, we do have what I call a couple mini manuals. They're very short, easy reads, and one of them is how to have a better mindset. So I am currently writing. And the thing about Battlefitted, it is a full mindset brand. So we have the podcast, we have the coaching, we have the curriculum. I'm giving a workshop at a behavioral health conference next month, trying to network with mental health providers. And we even have battle fitted clothing.
Interesting indeed. Would you like to be my guest on Mental Health 101?
Oh, of
Mr.
course.
Robert. Please do our second episode, and let's talk about mental health 101 over there, and let's empower people over there about mental health. Yes, people, Mr. Robert Wheeler, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge to the world. And we are hoping for more and more empowering coaching to come. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your business itself?
Yes, sir. Everybody can find me at battlefittedbrand.com. That's battlefittedbrand.com. The podcast link is in there. The everything's in there, and my major social media platform is Instagram at battlefitted.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Robert Willer, because if you support him, more and more and more empowering coaching to come, and who knows, empowering books to come. So, Mr. Robert, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it.
More to come, people. See you soon.